Okay, where is it? Yeah, this is the, oops, sorry. Yeah, for the question one, we have m to the power of 6 times m to the power of 7. When we multiply the indices, we add the power. So we add 6 and 7 become 13. For the question B, it is a division. When we have division, we subtract the power 8 minus 6. So the final answer, it will be 3 to the power of 2. For the question C, when we have anything inside the bracket and get another power, everything inside the bracket will get the power. So inside the bracket, there are two things, the letter, the number 2 and also letter n to the power of 3. So it means the number 2 will get the power of 4. If there is no number, we can make a power of 1. The n to the power of 3 will also get the power of 4. And then power meet powers, we multiply. 1 times 4, it will be 4. 3 times 4, it will be 12. So the final answer, it will be 16m to the power of 12. For the question B, we have 5x to the power of 3 times 3x to the power of 2. When we have multiplication using indices, we will multiply number times number, letter times letter. So the number 5 we multiplied with 3 become 15. X to the power of 3 we multiply with x to the power of 2. Multiplication using indices, we add the power. That's why the final answer, it will be 15x squared. Any question? Or maybe my explanation is too fast? You need more explanation or anything, you can tell me so I can try to repeat it again
Understand.
for you.
Understand.
Yeah? Understand? Okay. If it is already, if none of you have no question, I will continue. Oh, someone asked me about the 1C. Okay. For the 1C, as I told you, everything inside the bracket will get power. So inside the bracket for the question C, there is number 2 and also has n to the power of 3. To make it more easier, if any number is not having power, any number or any letter has no power, you can make your own power by make it adding a number 1 as the power. So this is only number 2. Now I will write it as 2 to the power of 1 to the power of 4. Because everything inside the bracket will get the power. And then for the n to the power of 3 in the bracket get the power of 4. We follow the index laws, a to the power of m, and then get bracket to the power of n. The result, it will be a to the power of m times n. That's why for the number 2, 1 times 4, it will be 4. And then the index for n, 3 times 4, it will be equals to 12. So the final answer, it will be 16m to the power of 12. I think it will be better if you keep the index number into any the indices number into ordinary number. So it will be more simplified. If you still keep your answer as 2 to the power of 4 and to the power of 12, I will deduct your marks by 0.5. So please kindly do not write the number as indices if the question did not say so. If the question say leave your answer as indices, you can keep it as 2 to the power of 4 and to the power of 12. But if the question asks you to simplify, it will be better if you change the 2 to the power of 4 into an ordinary number. Is there anyone else having any confusion? I'm reading the chat box, so please let me know. So I will help you. I will directly explain for anything that you are still confused about. If you text me privately, I will try my best to not call your name, so you can always ask me any question. Do not be shy to ask me any question if you have any questions. No? Okay. If none of you ask me anything, I hope this is already clear enough for you. I will move to the question 2. For the question 2, calculate without calculator. So for this number, we have 4 times 8 divided by 2 to the power of a half. As you know, we have the BIDMAS law. we have to finish the bracket. After we finish the bracket, we solve the indices. After that, we do division or multiplication. After that, we do addition or subtraction. Depends whatever comes first between division and multiplication, and also addition and subtraction. Now for the question A, we already have a bracket on it, so it means we have to simplify the calculation inside the bracket. 4 times 8, it will be 32. 32 divided by 2, it will be equals to 16. Because you are not using calculator tomorrow, if you get difficulties on calculating, you can do the crossing out. So 2 divided by 2, it will be 1. 4 divided
Teacher.
by 2, it will be 2. Yes,
Teacher.
Stefan? Yeah?
Tomorrow is a test, teacher. Tomorrow is a test.
Okay, let me tell you again. Tomorrow, you will be having economics test. That's why I postponed the test. I'm trying to make it on Wednesday. But you told me also that with either on Wednesday or Friday, you will be having biology test. So later, after the class finish, I will try to talk to teacher Rakesh first. And then if teacher Rakesh won the test on Wednesday, because your friend told me that teacher Rakesh already booked the day for the chapter wise test like 2 weeks ago. I mean, like he booked the day first, then me. So I need to ask him first. If he wants to make the test on Wednesday, it means the chapter wise test it will be on Monday. So the chapter wise test for math it will be either on Wednesday or Monday. I will tell you tomorrow, but tomorrow you will be not having math test. Tomorrow you will be having economics test. Okay, I will tell you tomorrow. Is it Wednesday or Monday? It depends on what day teacher Rakesh won the test for the chapter-wise test. Okay, I will continue to the revision discussion. 4 times 8 divided by 2. This is not in any textbook. This was the revision question. I shared the paper as a PDF file. I think I already shared it like 2 weeks ago on Monday. I think I forgot which is it last week Monday or 2 weeks ago. Maybe you can check it later on for the on your own Google Classroom. Most of you already submitted. Half of you already submit the answer to me. That's why I will just discuss it now. Okay. So now we'll continue to the question. We have for the question 2, we have any calculation inside the bracket. We have to solve it first. So we have to finish the 4 times 8 divided by 2. The final answer, it will be 16. And then 16 to the power of half. When you have a fractional indices, there are 2 ways to solve the question. You can change the any number inside the bracket into any index number. After that, you can simplify the indices using the index laws. Power, mid powers, you do times. 2 times a half, it will be 1. So we will have 4 to the power of 1, which is equals to 4. Or you can change it, the 16 to the power of a half into root form. The numerator in here, it will be the power for the number. And then the denominator, it will be the power for the root. So I will have square root of 16 to the power of 1. 16 to the power of 1 is 16. Square root of 16, it will be equals to 4. So there are 2 ways. You can pick which one that you feel more comfortable with. That's why please kindly try to memorize or to use all of the index laws that you have learned. So it will be easier for you to solve all the questions. So the first thing for the question 2A, you have to simplify the calculation inside the bracket. After you simplify, there are 2 ways that you can do. You can change the number inside the bracket into any index form, because you know 16 is equals to 4 to the power of 2. And then power mid powers, you can simplify it by doing a multiplication. 2 times a half, it will be 1. That's why the final answer, it will be 4. Or you can change the fractional indices into root form. The numerator, it will be the power for the number. The denominator, it will be the power for the root. Yes, Pipi?
Teacher, how do you get 16?
How do I get 16? You have to simplify the calculation inside the bracket first because we follow the big math rule. Bracket after bracket indices and then division or multiplication and then addition or subtraction. So we have a bracket on it. We have to simplify the bracket. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Because you cannot use calculator, tomorrow you can do a crossing out like maybe 2 divided by 2 is 1 and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4 times 4 it will be equal to 16. Is it clear enough?
Yeah.
Okay. How about the others? Is there anyone having any difficulties or any questions? Before I move to the question B, you can ask me any question if you have any questions. No? Okay. If you really have no question, I will move to the next question, to the question B. We have 2 to the power of 15 times 2 to the power of 5 divided by 4 to the power of 8. So in here, I will just simplify the calculation, the very first calculation, 2 to the power of 15 times 2 to the power of 5. It is a multiplication, so we add the power. After that, you see that the base is number 2. For the third number, the base is 4. It is different with the others. That's why we need to change it into the base of 2 also. 4, in here we can change it into 2 to the power of 2. So for 4 to the power of 8, we can change it into 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 8. After that, we can simplify them. 2 to the power of 15 plus 5, it will be 2 to the power of 20. And then for 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 8, it will be 2 to the power of 16. Power meets powers with time. Now we have a division. When we have division, we subtract the power. 20 minus 16, it will be 4. We have 2 to the power of 4, which is equal to 16. Any questions? Any questions? No? Okay, I hope this is clear enough for you. If you have no question, I will move to the question C. For the question C, we have any calculation inside the bracket, we have to simplify first. So we simplify the 20 times 3, it will be equal to 63. After that, we plus it by 1. So now we have 63 plus 1, which is equal to 64. Now we have 64 to the power of 1 per 3. The answer, it will be equal to 4. For the power of 1 per 3, you can do the same thing as you did in the question A. You can change the number into indices and then you simplify all the index on the number, or you can change it into root. The final answer, it will be equal to 4. Any question or maybe anyone needs more explanation, you can tell me. Any question? No? Okay. If you really have no question, I will continue to the question D. For the question D, we have 5 to the power of 0 plus 5 to the power of 1 times 5 to the power of 2. We have to solve everything inside the bracket first. 5 to the power of 0 is 1. 5 to the power of 1 is 5. That's why the final answer, we will have 1 plus 5 times 25. 1 plus 5, it will be equal to 6. 6 times 25, it will be equal to 150. Any questions? No? Okay then. I will move to the question E. For the question E, we have negative 3 to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of negative 2. Negative 3 to the power of 2, it means there are two numbers of negative 3 and then we need to multiply them. Negative 3 times negative 3, the answer, it will be equal to 9. Negative times negative, it will be positive. 3 times 3, it will be equal to 9. So we have 9 for the first term. For the second term, we have 3 to the power of negative 2. When we have the negative power, negative indices, we can change it into a fraction. Become 1 per 3 to the power of 2. The negative gone when you change the number into a fraction. 3 to the power of 2, it will be equals to 9. That's why for the question E, we have 9 plus 1 per 9, which is equals to 9 1 per 9. Any question? Any question? No?
No, teacher.
Okay. If you really have no question, I will move to the next question. For the next question, for the question 3, we have 15x to the power of 3y divided by 3xy to the power of 4. When we have this kind of a division, I think it will be better if we change it into a fraction. So later on, it will be more visible for you which one that you can simplify. But if you already feel comfortable without changing them into a fraction, it's also okay. So now we can simplify 15 divided by 3. It will be equals to 5. For the x, now as you can see, you have x to the power of 3 divided by x. When it is only x, it means the x is having power of 1. X to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 1. Division, we subtract the power. 3 minus 1, it will be equals to 2. Now we continue to the y. For the very first one, we have, for the numerator, we have y. For the denominator, we have y to the power of 4. So in here, for the y, you can simplify them by doing a subtraction. 1 minus 4, it will be equal to negative 3. But you have to read the question properly. Positive indices. Negative 3 is negative. We have to change the negative 3 into a denominator. The negative will gone, become only y to the power of 3. So the final answer, it will be 5x to the power of 2 per y to the power of 3. Any question? Any question? No? Okay. If you really have no question, I will move to the question B. We have 3x to the power of 3y to the power of 2 to the power of 2 times x to the power of 2y to the power of 4. As I told you, everything inside the bracket will get the power. Inside the bracket, there is number 3. If it is only 3, we can make it as 3 to the power of 1. And then there is x to the power of 3. There is y to the power of 2. Everything will get the power of 2. Power with powers, we do times. 1 times 2, it will be 2. So we have 3 to the power of 2. 3 to the power of 2, it will be equals to 9. That's why I directly wrote it as 9. For the x, we have x to the power of 3 to the power of 2. 3 times 2, it will be equals to 6. For the y to the power of 2 to the power of 2, a power with power is 2 times, so it will be y to the power of 4 times with x to the power of 2, y to the power of 4. After that, we simplify number times number, letter times letter. We only multiply the letter with the same base. We multiply if it is in indices, we only can simplify the numbers that having same base. Now for the number 9, since the 9 is alone, we can keep the 9 as 9. For the x, there are 2 x, the x to the power of 6 and also x to the power of 2. It is a multiplication, so we add the power, become 8. For the y to the power of 4 times y to the power of 4, it will be y to the power of 8. We add the power. Any question? Any confusion?
Teacher, I'm a little confused. This one.
Can you tell me
Around here at the top.
at the top?
About
Okay.
the,
Yeah.
about
Okay.
this
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Okay. I will try to repeat again. As I told you before, everything inside the bracket will get the power. As you can see, inside the bracket there is number 3. there is x to the power of 3, there is y to the power of 2. Everything will get the power of 2. That's why to make it more visible, I expand them and do it one by one. So I solve the 3 first. We'll get the power of 2. The x to the power of 3 get the power of 2. The y to the power of 2 also get the power of 2. Everything inside the bracket will get the power of 2. Because from the question we can see in the bracket 3x to the power of 3, y to the power of 2 close bracket to the power of 2. That's why everything will get the power of 2. The number 3, the x to the power of 3, the y to the power of 3, everything will get the power of 2. And then as we know, power made powers we do times. So the very first one I only have number 3. Maybe it's confusing if it is too confusing for you, I can change the if there is any number or any letter without a power, we can make our own power by giving a power of 1. Power mid powers we do times. So we have 3 to the power of 2, which is equals to 9. That's why I directly write it as 9. For the second thing, we have x to the power of 3. Everything inside the bracket will get the power of 2. So x to the power of 3 to the power of 2, it will be x to the power of 6. For the y, we have y to the power of 2, get the power of 2. Power mid powers we do times. That's why we have y to the power of 4. Is it clear enough for solving the top one, or is it still confusing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, already, teacher.
Okay then, thank you for telling me. If it is already clear enough, I will move to the next question, to the question C. We have n to the power of 2 to the power of 2. Power mid powers we do times. That's why for the n to the power of 2 to the power of 2, it will be n to the power of 4. For the denominator, as you can see, the number are different, the m and n. So we cannot simplify them because we only can simplify the number or the letter with the same base. This is n and they are different. So the denominator, it will remain the same as m to the power of 6 times m to the power of 7. Now we have a fraction, we can simplify all the letters that is having same base. The n in here, there is n to the power of 4 and n to the power of 2. They are having the same base, so we follow the index law. Fraction means we do division. When we do division, we subtract the power. 4 minus 7, it will be equal to negative 3. That's why the n, it will be m to the power of negative 3. The m, since the m is alone, so the m, it will stay still as m to the power of 6. From the very first question, you know that the m is at the denominator. So the m to the power of 6, it will stay at the denominator still. So now we have m to the power of negative 3 for m to the power of 6. With the question again, we have to leave the answer as the positive indices. So the n to the power of negative 3 moves down, become n to the power of 3. So the final answer, it will be 1 for m to the power of 6, m to the power of 3. Any question? Any question? If you have any question, kindly tell me. You can directly unmute yourself and tell me, or you can tell me the question through the chat box. If you tell me privately, I will try my best to not mention your name, so your friend will not know if you have any difficulties. Feel free to ask me any question if you have any question. Okay, if you really have no question, I will move to the question D. For the question D, we have two brackets. So we have to simplify each bracket first. Now we have number 2, as you know, everything inside the bracket will get the power. So for the number 2, it will get the power of 2. For the A, the first one, it is A to the power of 4. Now get the power of 2. So in the end, a to the power of 4 to the power of 2, it will be a to the power of 8. Sorry, I thought it was a to the power of negative 4. It's supposed to be a to the power of 8, not negative 8. And then for the b is actually having the power of negative 3. And then get the power of 2. Power get powers we 2 times. Negative 3 times 2, it will be negative 6. Now for the second bracket, we also do the same thing. For the very first one, we have a to the power of negative 1. It gets a power of 5. So now we multiply the power. Negative 1 times 5, it will be negative 5. And then for the b, because it's if there is no power, we can make a power of 1. Get the power of 5. Power meet powers we do times, that's why we have b to the power of 5. For the a, the very first a, we have a to the power of 8. And then for the second a, we have a to the power of 5. Multiplication, so we add the power. 8 plus negative 5, it's supposed to be a to the power of 3. The number 4, it will stay still because the number, this is the only number that is axis on the question B is only number 4. That's why the 4 stays still as 4. For the b, there are 2 b in here. As you can see, there is b to the power of 6 and also b to the power of 5. When we multiply, we add the power. Negative 6 plus 5, it will be equal to negative 1. So now, as you can see, because we have to change the number into positive indices, so we only transfer the any index or any indices that's having negative indices change into the denominator. So the final answer is supposed to be for a to the power of 3 per b to the power of 1. Or you can write it as for a to the power of 3 per b. Yes, anyone asked me any question before?
Teacher, what if I wrote 4a 3 times 1 per b?
Oh yeah, that is also fine. That is fine. That is fine. Okay. Any question? Any question?
Teacher, I still not really want to get it.
Which one? Okay, I will try to repeat. Yeah, I will try to repeat later on. If yeah, okay, I will try to repeat later on when I talk. If you still do not understand with whatever I talk, you can directly interrupt me. So it will be easier for me to find which part that is confusing for you. Okay, just directly unmute me. It's okay. Hey, unmute yourself and interrupt me if you have any question when I try to explain it to you. Now for the question D, we have 2 brackets in here. As I told you before, like from the question 2, everything inside the bracket will get the power. So now for the very first one, you have 2a to the power of 4, b to the power of negative 3 inside the bracket to the power of 2. So it means the number 2 will get the power of 2. For the a to the power of 4, it will get the power of 2. b to the power of negative 3, it will get the power of 2. Everything inside the bracket will get the power of 2. So now we can simplify the calculation in here. I simplify one by one, that is inside the right square. 2 to the power of 2, it will be equal to 4. A to the power of 4 to the power of 2, power meet powers with times. So 4 times 2, it will be equal to 8. For the b, negative 3 times 2, it will be equal to negative 6. That's why it will be b to the power of negative 6. Before I move to the next bracket, is it still confusing? CP or anyone?
No, teacher.
Okay.
I know now.
Okay. For the second bracket, we follow the same thing. Everything inside the bracket will get the power. Now for the second bracket, it says to the power of 5. So everything inside the bracket will get the power of 5. a to the power of negative 1 will get the power of 5. b, when it is only b, you can directly write it as b to the power of 5, or maybe if you get confused, you can put the power on it as the power of 1. b to the power of 1 to the power of 5. Power meets powers, we do times. 1 times 5, it will be 5. That's why I will have a to the power of negative 5 times b to the power of 5. I hope this is clear enough, or this is still confusing for anyone. You can ask me any question if you have any question. No? Okay. If none
No
of you
question.
have, okay. I will continue to the question E if you really have no question. For the question E, we have a calculation in here. As I told you before, we have to simplify the calculation inside the bracket first. That's why for the first term, to the power of 4q to the power of negative 2 per 3r, it will stay still. I do nothing on it because there is nothing that I can simplify, so it will remain the same. For the second term, it is inside the bracket. Everything inside the bracket will get the power. So now there is a number 2. That's why the 2, it will get the power of 3. Becomes 2 to the power of 3. For the number 3, it will get the power of 3. Becomes 3 to the power of 3. For the q, it will get the power of 3 also. So now it will be q to the power of 3. For the r square, it gets the power of 3. R square to the power of 3. So we need to multiply the power. 2 times 3, it will be equals to 6. That's why I get r to the power of 6. Before I continue, any confusion in here? Before I continue to the next step, any confusion here? No? Feel free to tell me if you have any confusion. So I just simplify the bracket. For the very first term, I do nothing. That's why it remains the same. It remains the same. No question? Okay, if you really have no question, I will continue.
Teacher, no, no, continue,
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. It is a division. When it is a division, we can change it into a multiplication because this is in the fraction form, so we can change into a multiplication by flipping upside down for the second algebraic. This is a fractional thing. So now it will be 2 to the power of 4 q to the power of negative 2 per 3r times 3 to the power of 3 q to the power of 3 r to the power of 6 per 2 to the power of 3. In here, I will simplify one by one. I simplify the numerator first. Number times number, letter times letter. Since the number are not having the same base, so I cannot simplify them. I will write it them as 2 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 3 still. Because they are not having the same base, we cannot simplify. Now for the q, there are two q to the power of negative 2 and q to the power of 3. The connection is multiply, so we can multiply them. When we multiply the letter that having the same base, we can directly add the power. So we add negative 2 plus 3, which is equals to 1. For the r to the power of 6, since it's all alone, so it will stay the same as r to the power of 6. Anyone have any difficulties on simplifying the numerator before I simplify the denominator? No? Okay, I will move to the denominator now. For the denominator, as you know, number times number, letter times letter. This is the number is 3 and 2 to the power of 3. The base are different, so that's why we cannot simplify. I keep it as 3 times 2 to the power of 3. The r is all alone, so just keep it as times r. Now we can simplify it. We focus at the base of 2, the power of 2. We have 2 to the power of 4 and 2 to the power of 3. It is a division, we subtract the power. 4 minus 3, it will be equals to 1. Now we move to the base of 3. When it is the power of 3, we have 3 to the power of 3 divided by 3. If no power, we can make it as the power of 1. We read it as 3 to the power of 3 divided by 3 to the power of 1. Division, subtract the power, becomes 3 to the power of 2. The q to the power of 1, we can write it as q only. For the r, there are 2 r in here, r to the power of 6 and also r. It is a division, we can subtract the power. No power, we can add our own power, which is power 1. 6 minus 1, it will be equals to 5. That's why the letter it will be qr to the power of 5. The number 2 to the power of 1 is 2. 3 to the power of 2, it will be equals to 9. So we have 2 times 9 times q to the power of qr to the power of 5. 2 times 9, it will be equals to 18. And then qr to the power of 5. Any question? Any question? No?
I'm just asking a little bit, teacher. How did you get Q1? Q1.
Q1. Okay. As I told you,
Q1 and like
multiplication. Multiplication, we add the power. Negative 2 plus 3, it will be equal to 1. That's why I have Q1. We simplified from the numerator first. So we focus at the numerator only. The numerator is any calculation at the top part. At the top part, we have 2 to the power of 4 and 3 to the power of 3 for the number. We cannot simplify them, so it will remain the same. The q, we have q to the power of negative 2 times q to the power of 3. Multiplication, we add the power. Negative 2 plus 3, it will be equals to 1. That's why I get q to the power of 1. The r to the power of 6 is from here. The r is alone, so it will stay still as r to the power of 6. Clear? Or is it still confusing? Let me know if it is still confusing or anything.
Teacher, how did you get just r at the bottom and
from the bottom? So you have to focus at the bottom. From the bottom, as you can see, the r is alone. So it will be just r. Right? For the bottom, we have 3. So it will stay still as 3. At the bottom, we have 2 to the power of 3. So stay still as 2 to the power of 3. Any question?
Okay, teacher. No, not anymore.
If you have no question, okay. If you have no question, I think that's all for today's class. If you have any question, you can stay still and ask me any question if you want.